Hi everyone, this is Roy, and thanks for watching my 4-month post-op video for duodenal switch with the gastric sleeve. So let's quickly get to the stats. So right now I am 220 pounds, which is down 82 pounds from the day of surgery and 94 from my pre-op diet. I've lost a total of 27 inches around my neck, chest, and waist, and I feel really good. I'm happy with the progress, um, and there's quite a bit going on. So let me get into some of the pros and cons of what's happening. So what's good? The good thing is I feel fantastic. My body enjoys the new weight. I still have about 40 more pounds to go, but I got 8 months to lose that before my target weight. Um, my body really likes it. My joints are much happier than when I was carrying the extra weight. Um, I get so I had my first lab work done, and let me tell you, uh, the amount of they had 65 different tests, and they took 13 vials of blood from me, and they tested for every vitamin and mineral that you possibly can. Now, I was a type 2 diabetic uh, before my surgery, and my A1C this time, I haven't taken my metformin since the day of surgery, and my A1C was 4.2. So it's incredible. The duodenal switch cured my diabetes immediately, and I couldn't be happier with it. I'm so thrilled. My A1C was never that low, even when I was taking metformin, and even when I was watching my diet. I don't eat any less sugar now than I did then. When I was really trying to control my diabetes with diet. Um, and so the way that they rearrange the intestines and the way your body processes um, nutrients now, it's incredible. So if you're a type 2 diabetic and you're severely overweight like I was, talk to your doctor about the duodenal switch, because it transformed my life completely. I can almost eat normally now, like almost completely normally. I do have some restrictions still on starchy vegetables and carbs. I stay away from carbs as much as I can, um, but I can eat beans and nuts now, and it's really nice. So a good example is in the first couple months, if my wife and I would go out, I would only get like a fish fillet or something like that. And that would be the only thing I'd eat, because I wanted to make sure that I focused on my protein. And I still focus on my protein now, but I'm not as hardcore about it. So last night we went out to a seafood restaurant, and I got grilled gator bites, which is really high in protein, by the way. So if you want to look at that, it's a really good option. So I get grilled gator bites, and as the side dish, I got black-eyed peas and cheese grits. So yes, I'm in Florida, so it's the South. Now I was only able to eat 2 small bites of the cheese grits and 2 small bites of the black-eyed peas, and about 5 of the gator bites. They were small anyway. So 4 ounces max is what I ate, which is about normal for me now. But it actually feels like I'm eating a meal, even though it's a tiny meal. It's still a main dish and some sides. So it really does require you to think about food differently. So my nutritionist, Amanda, um, really puts it well when she says we have to retrain ourselves to think of food as a fuel source. Um, and I agree with that. However, you should still enjoy it. It should not, enjoying food should not be your motivator, but you should still enjoy it. Otherwise, we would just be putting supplements in our bodies instead of eating actual food. So having 2 small bites, and by small bites I mean probably a total of 15 black eyed peas and, gosh, maybe a normal human spoonful of grits is all I had. But having those really made the difference in the meal, and it makes it feel like a meal instead of, a deprivation. So still got my protein in. I'm getting about 140 to 150 grams a day. I'm never below 135. Target for 150. Most days I hit it, but that's it. And I always stay under 50 grams of carbs. Always. I don't think I've gone over a single time. And so that usually puts me at about 800 to 1200 calories a day. 1200 is a high day for me. Most days are under 1000. So getting to the point where I'm almost eating normally is really wonderful. So while my weight loss has slowed, which I'll talk about in a minute, it is still happening. At 4 months, I'm at a point where it's kind of, I have mini plateaus. From the last video to today, I have only lost about 12 pounds. So 12 pounds in a month doesn't sound like a lot, but you have to think about it in terms of the excess weight loss. So while I lost like 30 pounds in my first month, I had a lot more excess weight to lose than I do now. So it's going to continue to get slower. As long as it keeps going, that's the important thing. And so I have mini plateaus. Like I'll go 2 or 3 days without losing anything, and then I'll lose a pound or two. And then I'll go another 2 or 3 days without losing it. It's just the way it works. As long as my body feels great and I focus on the non-scale victories, which is super important, you can do that. And exercise is a lot easier. So I'm at a point now where I started actually jogging for the first time in decades. So I'm not going very far. I still walk 1.5 miles every single day or more. But I'm actually jogging a few blocks now. And that feels really good. So there's a lot of good non-scale victories there. So what are some of the negatives? Probably the biggest negative is the slowdown. You just have to really get your mind right and say, okay, the weight loss slow down and the mini plateaus, they're going to happen. Just deal with it and try not to focus on it. I don't weigh myself every day like I was doing in the beginning, because I don't want to set myself up for failure, or at least set myself up for being upset about not losing weight. So I weigh myself probably twice a week, maybe once a week. But I can feel the non-scale victories. Like, I'm wearing large t-shirts now and size 36 to 38 pants, depending on what pants they are. And I haven't been that small in 25 years. And so that's wonderful. I fit better in seats, and just the everyday things that if you were severely overweight like I was, that you take for granted. And another big thing that's kind of a negative is the excess skin. So as you can see here, there's a lot of excess skin from when my face was larger. I have some under my underarms, and I have some on my chest and on my legs, and it's unsightly. It is what it is. You're gonna have it. I do use a elastin cream on here. I don't know if it's working or not. If it gets too bad after I'm down to my goal weight and I can't deal with it anymore, I might look into getting skin removal surgery. But honestly, at this stage, it's not that bad. Now, I do still have about 40 pounds to go to my target weight, so it's not the end of the world right now. I anticipate it will get worse as I lose more weight, but even so, even with the excess skin, just I look and feel better in clothes. So um, so it's a negative, but it's not the end of the world. Um, Emotionally, I feel great. If anyone cares, I am more willing to go out and do things. I am I'm not really an extrovert. If any of you could tell, I'm not a fan of people in general, but I do open myself up more to those opportunities. My wife and I are taking dance lessons, and you know, there's still COVID-19, so we don't go out and party or go out to a lot of big gatherings or anything like that. But we try to get out and do things as much as possible. Uh, and that's about it for this update. I'm feeling great. Things are really progressing well. The weight loss is slowed, but that's to be expected. And so again, I want to end this like I've ended the last ones. If you're thinking about getting the duodenal switch surgery, talk to your doctor. It was wonderful for me. Your experience may vary. It may not be the right option for you. Talk to your doctor about it. The nutritionist is probably your best friend before and after surgery. Amanda at East Coast Bariatrics is fantastic. She's always available to answer questions. She couldn't be more helpful. And I hope that you have the same experience with whatever nutritionist you're going with. Because your life is different, and nutrition is always in the front of my mind. Every choice that I put into my body has to meet a need. And so that's a new way of thinking that you'll have to get used to. But, you know, the benefits greatly outweigh any drawbacks. And so at 6 months, my diet will open up completely. I will be able to have, you know, pretty much anything. I still can't drink alcohol, which is a bummer. I'm not an alcoholic or anything, but I brew my own mead. And so I have some really good meads that are waiting on the shelf for me when I finally can have alcohol, which is supposed to be at a year. I really am going to try to make it a year. So far, I'm 4 months and haven't had a drop, so that's good. So anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments section. I try to answer them as fast as possible. The best of luck on your journey if you're thinking about starting this. I wish that everyone that would go on this adventure has the same positive benefits that I've had. And I really look forward to it. If you've had it and your surgeries and your recovery is going well and you're happy with it, let me know that too. That helps me stay motivated. And I look forward to seeing you guys again in a month. So thanks for watching.